Hi, TC. Yes, we are up and running. Yes. So we'll let everybody catch up before I start. How you doing anyway, TC? I do think of you often. I apologize. I just haven't been good at keeping in touch. My fault. Hi, Donis. Yes, we're back. We're back. So we'll give everybody a few minutes. Actually, luckily my son is here. He's going with his father to buy new cable, and they're going to reroute the internet cable because he keeps hitting it with his tractor. Even though he marked where it was with so his tractor wouldn't hit it again. Oh, so we're here anyway. Cutting guide. Howdy. Yep. The cutting guide is, I'm going to post it one more time in the chat. And we're making the album and the pages this morning. We'll see how well that goes. So, well, on the hinges. So on your cutting guide, first thing we're going to do is wrap our chipboard. They're 4.5 by 7.5. So we need two. Those are my pages. Wrong pieces. Okay, to wrap our chipboard, we need two 6.5 by 9.5 inch pieces. And then we are going to start by, putting our covering on here. I use score tape sheets because they're so quick and fast. And then also one sheet. The project too is really cute and easy because you can get a lot of these done. Also I use StreamYard. So if you guys notice if you're on Facebook, just so you know, it'll say up there at the top of the video that it says, I'm going live using StreamYard. And before leaving a comment, you need to click on the blue streamyard.com/Facebook. And all you do is give it permission for your name to show up. Otherwise, Facebook doesn't allow the name to show up. And so it just gives me like Country Craft Creations, tells me that there's a person asking a question. And I see one about a piece of acrylic. And yes, you can make it out of the acrylic or the paper. You make it the exact same way. So I've taken the backing off. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to lay it down on my chipboard, or the chipboard down on my score tape sheet. Bring this one in. And this one is going to be just a hair short, but nothing that a 1/4 inch piece won't, or this won't be able to handle. So you'll only need one sheet if you're using the backing, the score tape sheet. Hello again. Yeah, we're just getting started by laying our chipboard on our score tape sheets. Hi, Karen. I'm glad you can watch one too. And I'm just going to separate my pieces here. That's not too bad. Again, quick gifts. You're going to want to make these with Christmas paper. Anything that you want to get a quick gift out. because you can make this in one day. You really can. You'll see. Only take 7 sheets of cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and remove, not totally remove. Let me show you. I'm just going to lift up. Now, next week, same time, we'll be doing our live show, but then again, I'll be on break again. Not really break. I'm going to overlap this just a little bit. We have a retreat coming up. I'll be gone the week of the 22nd, and then I will be gone and we'll come home and leave for Las Vegas. So I won't be live until after the second week in August, and I'll get the new schedule up for fall. Can you believe we're going to be then going into fall? So that's going to overlap a little bit, but we'll finish up our book next week. And I know there's tons of projects for you to do. Okay, 9.5 by 6.5, and I want that 1 inch that goes all the way around. I need to get some more made. These are starting to get worn out. These are my 1 inch strips, just a lightweight chipboard. So I do 1 inch at the top and 1 inch at the side. Change tools here. Well, you know, it's just because of all the rescheduling that we've had to do. And it ended up kind of back to back, and then it will calm down again and we'll be back to normal. Well, yes, we will be back to normal. I will be back to normal. So let's just lay that down. And if you've never wrapped your chipboard like this, you'll love it because it's perfectly straight. And you can just use your scraps of chipboard. And don't forget, if you're watching this on Facebook, you'll see a link for giving StreamYard permission so I can see your name. Otherwise, I just see that Country Craft Creations, someone posted a comment. And I can still see it and answer you, but that way I'll know who asked the question. And for my next piece, I'm just going to cut a piece of chipboard that's 1.5 inches. I'm going to need it when we do our sides. When we do the sides, I like to have a 1.5 inch, and it looks like, yeah, I didn't have one, but I do now. That's going to be my spacer. You do have to give it each time. You do have to give the permission each time. It's not my rule, basically. It's Facebook's. They don't want, it's for your, it's a security thing. Okay, we have a spine piece. And it's right in front of my face. Your spine piece is 2 inches wide. So 4.5 by 7.5 where it was the front and the back cover. 2 inches by 7.5. And again, hi Sheila, it is also in the cutting guide. The difference here is we're going to have 1.5 inches on the sides, one top and bottom. So that's where this 1.5 inch will come in play. And then this will go down. And then I'm going to have 1.5 inches on each side. It makes for a nicer hinge piece. And I'll have 1 inch at the top and bottom. And see, I've just taped this together. And I like the chipboard instead of, you can buy the rulers like this, but they're heavy. I don't like them to be that heavy. 1.5 on the left and right sides, 1 inch top and bottom. And this is our 2 inch by 7.5 inch hinge. So this is 5 inches by 9.5 inches. Hi, Anna. And if you haven't made your album covers this way, try it. See if you like it. I do. It just gives a much neater, absolutely no cracking, and it lays perfectly flat. It takes a little bit to get used to doing them this way. We're going to go ahead and start with our covers though. And the chipboard, we're just going to wrap. And you do want to burnish the edges as long as you're using artisan cardstock. Check your cardstock to make sure it can handle being burnished on your chipboard edge. We're just going to go to all 4 sides. I might just push it up against the chipboard. Sometimes it likes to pooch there just a little bit, and you want to make sure it's in a straight line. Then, because we burnished on the edge of the chipboard, we're going to cut out these squares. I do cut them all the way to the corner of that chipboard. Everything I'm using, everything, the chipboard, the scissors, the scored tape, cardstock, you can purchase at countrycraftcreations.com. And your order shipped pretty fast. No waiting. I'm going to start with the long side. Doesn't matter, but you'll notice we need to clean up the corners. Hi, darling. Well, you'll be, you know what? I don't know about you guys. Wednesdays and Fridays are the busy time here when we have the whole crew in. They're packing kits, getting things ready for retreats. Okay, we have to do all the sites. So when I come back in August, and I'll give you the new schedule after next week's show, during next week's show, I will be going to Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's the days that, good thing I'm here by myself, days that the girls don't pack kits. So it'll work better. I thought Mondays or Wednesdays and Fridays would work great, but you know, we just kind of have to go with schedules. Let me get rid of that. But that will start in August. Teresa, you're definitely in with StreamYard. You don't have to go in. That's the nice thing about StreamYard. It's not like Zoom. You're not like in, because you're going to be able to see me no matter if you're on Facebook or YouTube. The only thing that's different is giving the permission for your name to show up. Well, hi, Lynn. I'm glad you could join us. I thought maybe you'd be hanging out with Sally. Okay, let's cut our corners. But when I come back in August, and I will still be doing them during the day, the shows. Same time. So Tuesday will probably be Authentiques. Thursday, Country Craft Creations. Okay. Oh, you thought that was funny, Lynn. Yes, I saw your post today, as you well know. So when you're cutting these edges, because I've taught it quite a few times, just remember to use your chipboard, because you can't go, see, if you hit your scissors against there and then just angle them, you'll never go in too far. We'll go ahead and wrap these two, and then we'll do the spine. It's different, and if you've never done it that way. That way you'll be able to see. Thank you, Teresa, for putting it so eloquently. I like to use the score tape because it's a quick grab, and I only use the 1/4 inch on this. This is a nice small album. Like I said, it's one of those that you can make. I love to give my neighbors albums at Christmas, but I find I can only do maybe 2 of them if I do the bigger albums. This way, I can get these all done and ready, or housewarming gift, and you can do all your neighbors. You just missed, we added the backing of our, we're wrapping the cardstock. So the nice thing is this will be recorded and you can go back and see what you've missed, and it will stay on YouTube. We know what you said, Lynn. No sense in trying to get out of it now. And Thelma the chicken knows too. Still going to use my art glitter glue. Make sure that backing is all down. Because we're going to remove it. Hi, Mylene. Yes, I can see you. And you have a picture. It's either of a Brittany, or is that a beagle? Your avatar. But it sure is a cute little face. And I know I'm working a little bit fast, and I'm sorry, because this is small. Okay, art glitter glue, or whichever, if you have a wet adhesive you like, it's going on this edge. Then yes, I have many different folders. This one's my favorite because you have a beveled edge, and this again is available at Country Craft Creations. Oh, it's a Cocker Spaniel. Well, what a pretty face. And see how that just grabs that edge, smooths it out. And your art glitter glue is going to keep it nice and tight. One thing I did forget, I usually put adhesive here. I didn't over here, but it did smush out enough. We're okay. But do smash that glue right up against the edge of that cardstock. Actually, I do need to fix that because if I don't, I'll have a big bump there. I'll do this side next. Okay, there's our first piece. And it's nice and tight. Corners, perfect, never any holes. So if you do it that way, you'll never have to worry about meeting up those edges or having any spots that are like open to the elements, right? Nothing worse than holes that you have to go back and cover with corners or are showing. It's frustrating because you do all that work. You want it to be perfect. And no frustration. So, okay, I've got all the backings off. And we'll just repeat. So I have, we have a wedding in September. And that's the reason I went with the chickens. It's my son's and his soon-to-be wife loves, well, they have chickens now. Hi, Karma. So that's why I chose the chickens, so that she can, I'll give this to her actually before the wedding, so that she can start journeying her from the time. Hopefully they took, did you guys take pictures of the chickens in the beginning? Hopefully they have pictures, so she'll be able to put the journey of their chickens in here. Jennifer, you're working with me as we're going. Oh, how fun! But anyway, she'll be able to journey her chickens. That's why I chose this one instead of the plaid for the front. Okay, let's do this one. Hi, Robin. Your spine, we're going to put it together different. So I'm going to go slower on this one. And I want to start with the side, which is your long sides. And it's where we've only put, where we've made them wider by 1/2 inch. So we're going to burnish the cardstock over that edge. Like I said, if you're using the artisan cardstock, that's my linen cardstock, don't be afraid to burnish it. But now we're going to go backwards. This is the working hinge. And see, it's working. So you want to burnish it now and not have to worry about it being stiff. So this is why we go through all of this. Now I'm going to open it up. And then you'll notice it's a little bumpy there. So we're just going to take a bone folder that's not sharp and just smooth out that edge so it looks nice. Do you know how far the store is from Coconut Creek? Robin, where's Coconut Creek and which store? Okay, let's do the same thing. Yeah, I'm not sure what store. Okay, now I'm going to fold it backwards. Just so you know, those of you that are new, my store's online. So you can go to countrycraftcreations.com and we ship out fast. We're not a storefront, but we do have local pickup here and we're in Utah. So once again, we want to just smooth out that edge there. So now see, you've got a working piece that's going to bend back and forth. So let's bend the top and the bottom now. And those are only 1 inch. I'm not going to go backwards like we did. We don't need to on this. So we're going to wrap those edges. Oh, well, when you say hello, it just says Facebook user. So someone just wrote, I wondered when I said hello the last few times, no one responded. Yeah, just go up there to StreamYard, and because I don't like to not say hello by name, and click on giving StreamYard permission. It'll give us your name. Okay, but I am going to go ahead and smooth that out right there so it just looks nice. Okay, we got some cutting here. What we're going to do with our scissors, I'm going to cut from here to there. I'm going to basically cut this corner off. From here, well, that's okay, to there. Coconut Creek sounds really cool though. So we're going to go from here to there. But I'm going to turn this to make it easier to cut. They don't have to be perfect. These are important. If we were just to cut those out, we'd have chipboard showing right there, and we want it to be covered. So once again, we're going to just cut that square in half, or it's more of a rectangle. And that's what that's going to look like when you're done. With my quarter-inch score tape, I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch between the chipboard, only because I want to use my art glitter glue there. And we're going to do that top and bottom. You can do it before you cut. I just do it after. Yeah, this paper is going to make some really cute gifts. So make sure you get over and get it. It's called Farmhouse Kitchen from Echo Park, and we have it all in stock. Excuse me. I have tape stuck. Let's go ahead and remove the backing here. Along the top of your chipboard. Hi, Barbara. Thank you, Robin. And let's go ahead and just work that glue on the chipboard. Let's fold it over. Clean up any glue that might come out. Now, I just lift my chipboard up. Make sure it's covering that edge. So you'll want to push it down with your bone folder. And then smooth those corners. We'll do the same to the bottom. Oh, I have a daughter here while I'm live.
Oh, my bad.
Of course she comes. I need one of those signs that says, yeah, I'm live. Okay, bone folder. And you're going to do the same thing there. And I'm going to just hand her a notebook. We'll put her to work since she's here, knocking everything off the shelf. Okay, same thing here. And now we're going to cut off these corners. So hold it so the long way is this way. And just like you're going to miter a corner. Right from the edge of chipboard. And now the bottom. And now the other side. And that's going to be the hinge piece right here. So I'm going to move my scoreboard. Makes it easier to work with. Using my score tape. And let me bend this up. If you've never made this before, I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch, just 1/8 of an inch from the edge of my, well, from what's now become a score line. You can call that basically a score line we've created. And the reason I do this is to keep the glue from oozing on to the spine. There's, oh, well, that just ran, especially with the black paper, it can look a little messy. And you can use all glue for it if you'd like. Not that the score tape is good. It's not permanent after some years. It really isn't. It will start lifting, but it's great to grab and it's great to keep the glue from oozing onto your spine. Even though we're going to cover it with our cardstock, we still want it to look nice. And you can make a bunch of these covers in advance and then have them ready so that you can just go through and then mat your pages. Have them all ready for Christmas. Okay, So I want you to look at this. So you're probably thinking we're going to hook it this way, but we're not. We're hooking it. Here's the front. We're going to take a cover, front or back, and it's actually going to just lay down. And I want you to practice right next to that edge. Okay. So I'm going to remove the tape backing. Now the glue is also going to give you that few minutes to readjust if you need. If you need to readjust, then you've got the glue there, and the glue is going to make this permanent. And I do, just along that edge, put a bead of glue. Okay. Remember, bare chipboard down. When I pushed on that, it popped up, and that's a good sign that you have it in the right place. I'm just going to kind of burnish it back and forth. Then I'm going to turn it over. If your glue is a quick drying glue like art glitter glue, and I'm going along that seam. It pushed it down. You'll see it push down as you're working with it. Okay, and we're going to let that dry, and we'll repeat with our second piece. Now, one thing I want you to look at, mine is sticking over the top a little bit, and I get a lot of questions on that, and I get a lot of, oh no, it's sticking over the top. Well, so is this one. See how that sticks up a little bit? But when you close it, it's just fine. So when it's down, you're going to notice mine looks like that also. But when we close it, it's fine. It doesn't. I don't know why on that one. I need to ask an engineer. Even when I cut these exact, and they were exact, I still get that. Okay. But I still want to make sure at least the bottom's flush, and the top's going to hang over just a little bit. Now see, when you push on it, I don't know if you noticed that popped up a little bit. I'm going to turn it over and really burnish that. This was the first one I did, so I'm going to start. And just fold it over. Fold it over. We're going to do the same thing with this one. There's that little piece of glue been stuck. And again. Now, sometimes those little corners need a little more drying time, and that's what your clothespins are for. So I'm just going to set those there while we make our hinge. But see, it's still going to lay flat. That's what I like. It doesn't matter how big. I shouldn't show you this one because it's going to be for retreat. It doesn't matter how big your album is. It's going to lay flat. You can make a huge Christmas one, and this is going to lay flat because of that cover. You're going to love it. Okay, hinges. So our hinge is the next piece that we want to work with. And our hinge is going to be 7 inches by 5.5. No, it's 7 inches top and bottom. Our page is 7 inches. So that is where you cut the 7 inch by 12. And I want you to just kind of put your pages. So there's 4 pages, 7 by 12. We want to make sure they're the same height. And remember, your page top to bottom is 7. So when we score our hinge, we're going to need the 5.5 at the top of our scoreboard. And with the 5.5 inch at the top of our scoreboard, You're going to score 1/2 inches all the way across. We're going to start 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. And I want to show you something really easy with this hinge, doing it this way. You can figure out how many hinges you need. So if you want more pages than this, let's see, you can go up to 8 pages on a 12-inch sheet. What you do is each hinge is 1 inch. So all you do is figure out, when you're trying to figure out, you need 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are going to be your hinges, and then you just figure out the middle. So it's super simple. You don't even have to lay down your paper. So I knew this one, when I was measuring it, I knew I needed 4 pages. That's all you do. So I go 1 inch. So I figure my 1 inch is for 1, 1/2 inch is for my hinge, and then you figure out your next inch. I hope that makes sense, but it's super simple to figure out your hinges this way. So we're just going to fold these two together, because your first 2 1/2 inches, that's every 1/2 inch. Yes. All the way to 5. Our first fold is the first 2 1/2 inches together, and they become our first set of hinges. Okay. So I just burnished those together. Now I need 1/2 inch. That's going to be my gusset. So my next 2. So just leave a space. Fold up your next 2. And then I just fold down and towards myself and back. So there's 2 sets of hinges. Then I need a gusset. So my next 2, just pinch them together. Three. Then we need a gusset, and our last 2 are going to be for the last page. And there's your hinges. So we're going to glue them together. Just start with the outside, that first 1/2 inch. I don't know why my glue bottle doesn't stand up straight anymore. Okay. I do a lot of burnishing as I go. Now those 2 are together. We have a space. We have the 2 that we've already put together. And just fold those over. And with the glue, if you're using a wet adhesive, you want to make sure that you are burnishing it, because you want to spread that glue around. I'm sticking to everything. And our last one, just remember we have to have a space there. You can use score tape if you like. Hi, Margaret. Now, I'm going to change bone folders in a minute. This one's really flexible. It's just your whiskers. I like it for some things, but this one is not flexible. It's pretty sturdy. I want to go, everything's just, now I want to go through and just really make sure everything's down flat, because you might feel a bump there. Sometimes when you use glue, it just means it needs to be burnished down more. Your hinge is what determines your page is laying flat or not, along with the cover. And if you haven't burnished these hinges well, the paper is not going to lay flat because you haven't established, there we go, the breakdown here. You need to work them, and you need to make sure everything feels, you'll feel it. If it feels smooth, then you're good to go. And it should lay back and forth really easy. Okay, there's my four hinges. Let's grab the cover of our book. If you want to, at this time, I did not, oh, we need to put a piece in, I forgot. But I want to show you, we're going to lay down the black cardstock. I did not mat behind my hinges, but you'll be able to if you want to. And before we put these down, you'll need that. We'll need another piece from the cutting guide. And I'm pretty sure it was on the cutting guide. I'm just looking here. Because yeah, it is. It's 7 3/8 by 5, so it's on there. I just didn't cut it. So I need to cut a black piece 7 3/8 by 5. And one thing I do is I measure. Actually, that's wrong. So I'm glad I didn't cut it, but if you did, you can still use it. I'm actually going to cut mine by 6. I am so sorry. It's 7 3/8 by 6 because I like it to extend past. So just measure. So this is actually 5 inches. And it's 6, but you can use a 5-inch piece. Don't recut it. It'll just sit right on top of the spine pieces. Oh, I can't get hold of my paper. There we go. And I went 7 3/8 because I don't want it to stick over the top or bottom. And see, that'll give me some coverage there. But if you did 5, it's going to match perfectly. And that's okay too. And that's what that will look like. So first I'm going to use my score tape sheets. Nope, I do them this way. I do them this way, and I've been doing these for months, Mylene, because we had some ladies on our crafting cruise, and they had such a hard time wrapping the other way with it all in a big long line. So we went this way, and it just made it so much easier. And it's easier on your hands, and you're never going to have any cracking. So I'm going to use my score tape sheets. You do not have to. You can use your score tape just regular. You can even use a wet adhesive, but I like to use this. I like the full coverage. Yeah, I changed, like, I think, let's see, we went on the cruise in August. I think it was around March I finally got this all figured out, and I've been doing this. No, it was before March. It was maybe, did I use it? I'm looking at my Christmas album. Can't remember if I used it on that in February or not. I've got some down here at the bottom. I'm just going to trim that with my big cutter. still do it that way, though. You can do your album covers however you like. I like this because it's like there's just no errors with it. There's no cracking. There's no, nothing's crooked. Everything's perfectly straight. November, you're absolutely right, Marie, because I did use it on, I did do the demo of it before I kind of went back and did some other things. Okay, so I'm really pushing because I'm wanting to make sure everything's flattened out. Okay, this came from Harbor Freight. You get them in a package of 5 of different angles. I love this angle. And you get 5 of them for $3.99. Harbor Freight. They're just electrical pick tools is what they are. And this is $1 at your Lowe's. These plastic scrapers. And hi, Mary Jo. They come in different sizes. I think $1.99 you get 2 or 3. And then you're not spending a ton of money on craft tools that are just made replicas of the guy tools in the, well, no, they're girl tools too, because girls use tools, but in Harbor Freight. Okay, let's go ahead. When you fold it up, you're gonna see the outline just slightly for that with your bone folder. Make sure everything's down. And let's do it again. Again, I'm using artisan cardstock, my own, and it doesn't, it's about 98%, won't crack on you. So there we go. Yes, I do like this much better, and I like the hinges much better. Mary, you're going to see why. Your pages will lay flat. Okay. Now you've also added, it's a lot stronger. Okay. Hinges. We just created those hinges, and they're going to go down next. Now I'm going to I fold my sides in because it also helps me to see exactly my spacing on the left and right hand side by folding that. It's hard to see black on black. I just fold that over on the right side, and I fold that over on the left side, and I have a better view of what I'm doing. And because, see, I don't need any glue anywhere on these, I just fold them in. These 3 hinges are where I want my adhesive. I thought that was glue, my white pen. Okay. Oh, I just made a mess. We'll clean that up. Oh, they won't ship them, Mylene? They won't ship these? Okay, let's just burnish those all down now. I'm doing it inside of the gusset. Oh, well, I'm glad you guys are liking this. I'm glad to see you're using it. Okay, now I want something a little bit, this is just my heavy duty bone folder. Just really get that glue spread around. Okay. Now I'm just going to go over my hinges one more time because glue probably got in there. All right, there's our hinges. And those will need some more curing time. So we're going to make our pages. Our pages are 4 sheets of 12 by 7. We're scoring all of them the exact same way in the zigzag fold. And I lost this. There we go. So we're going to just put it at the 12-inch side at the top, and you're going to score it 4 and 8. And you may have already made an album this way, but you can also make these pages any size you like. You can go all the way up to 12 inches. And we're just going to score all 4 pieces at 4 and 8. Oh. Oh, sorry, that's Wilbur. Somebody must be at the door. We haven't heard Wilbur in a while. After you score all of these at 4 and 8, I'm turning it over. So it's kind of the mountain on the back side. I'm just going to fold that first one all the way over, making sure top and bottom straight. And this way. Oh, okay. So this is what your page will look like. And there's no really right way or wrong way to fold it. And you'll see, because you can also put these on however you like. Oh yeah, that beagle bark, he gets a little eccentric with it sometimes, trust me. And this is what you'll be able to decide. I had my flaps going this way. You can turn it and have your flaps. No, you can't. Oh yeah, then you can have this way or this way. And you'll get to decide. And I think I went all one way, but you can also do your pages different directions. So we're just going to fold all of them, and making sure that they're even. But Yorkies have such cute little barks. One thing I do is I hold it on the edge as I'm running the bone folder over the score line so that it stays straight. Well, Mylene, you should use it, because then once you cut into it and use it, it's your finished project that becomes worthy. Trust me, you'll love using it. I don't use it. Well, no, I do use it for cards now and things because I have so many scraps. But in the beginning, I didn't. I only used it for my albums. So now, as you can see, let me grab this one. You can see that how I made. So this is like the single flap, and this becomes single flap. Bless you. And this will become a pocket if you want it to be. And then again, flap. And now this is where I changed. No, wait, no, I didn't. I was going to, but I didn't. Flap. And this is where we stuck it together, so there is no flap because I want some tags in there. So grab your album and decide what you want to do. Grab your first page. It'll lay down right on our hinge. That will close, so my flap will go this way. You can turn this So this is the folded side underneath. You'll just play with it. It can be right there. Then you have, for the front of your page, you'll have no flap. But when you turn it over, let me show you something. Now the flap will be to your left. So just play with it. I'm turning mine upside down. Single piece is going to the back. This is my fold. I'm going to put it down so that I have the flap on the front of each one of my pages. So you can make that choice. So basically now I have my piece like this. Fold over, fold under. I hope that makes sense. Because I'm putting it on this way, excuse me, what I'm going to do is I'm folding this over this way to start. This is how I like to do it to keep my pages straight. Let me show you that again if you've never done this before. My flap will open like so. So I'm going to bring the piece that's folded under out and just turn it over. And don't worry, because you can't put your pages on upside down with this method. But I'm just going to add my score tape, my art glitter glue right on the top. Your page is the same size as your hinges, if not trim it. And I'm going to butt it right up to the hinge. Okay, we're going to match top and bottom. And I've explained this doing pages like this before. So maybe you just want to use the little graphic 45 tags and stick in the top, which is really nice to be able to do. You can actually close your page in the center and those tags will stick out and you don't have to worry about them falling in. And that's one of the things that's fun to do with these pages. Now we want to close this piece. And no matter what, you're going to close the bottom. You have to close the bottom. Now, say you want, shoot, I wish I had one of those graphic 45 tags. I used to have one sitting here. And you only want those to go in. You can lay it down, measure it, draw your line. And then you're just going to close it. Close that bottom. In your page, and you can definitely get that all closed. And then burnish it. And burnish it hard. So we'll have a flap. Now this one though, I'm going to end up closing, but I won't do it right now. So there's page one. So my flap's on the front, solid on the back. So now I'm not going to turn it over. I do that just to get started so I can keep things straight. So the second one, flap in the front. See this one underneath? I'm going to lay it down. And butt it up against your hinge. Check the bottom. So let's put our adhesive right at the top. Put it at the top, right at the top, so it doesn't squish underneath and get in your gusset space. Okay, once that's done, close the bottom. So now you can see how that folds over. I'm going to open that. And backwards. Whoops. We'll go back under and check all those too before we're done. You know, pages won't magically lay flat. You have to work the paper so that they know you want them to lay flat. And we're going to repeat the same thing again. Oops. That back piece is getting stuck on that page. There we go. Match your bottoms down here at the bottom so they're even. You can see now how quick these are to put together. And we're going to fold that. Now, maybe you don't want any tags. You can close this at the top. You don't have to leave that open. You can also glue that closed. Spread that glue. If you're using a wet adhesive. And I can see I'm going to have to go back through and get some more glue, and we'll do that. That's why the art glitter glue tip is really nice. Okay, now see, everything's straight down here at the bottom. My pages are all lined up, and we're going to put our last page on. Now, I've left these open, and then I put pattern paper over this, and it will show when it comes up also, but I have left it open before and left my pages like so. And you can do that, or you want to put a pocket here. You would lay a pocket. So you would have instead a triple fold out, but they would be single pages. So you can do that too with this book. A lot of cool things that you can make with this. Okay, down that goes. Get this first. Pages are nice and straight. No frustration at all. Just cleaning up the glue as we go. I'm just going to go over one more time before we add more adhesive to make sure everything is laying flat. So you don't want your pages standing up like straight. Okay, now you have your pages in your book nice and straight, and we're going to go back and check those. So let me clean off this tip. One way to check is with a bone folder. If you can see, I can lift up some of the page there. Yep. So just add a little line of glue. I don't worry too much. It will dry clear, but we're going to pattern paper in the gusset, so I'm not too worried. But let's check this one. Yeah, usually I do have to go back. Oops. Oh goodness, just throw glue everywhere. Dark glitter glue does dry clear. On black, it's my diaper wipes. They're just full of lint. I got to find some different ones, but it won't. You really won't see it. Okay. That one's down, and that one's down too. So we're good. So there's our 4 pages. Our album cover and our pages now are all finished. And so next week, let me show you what we're going to do. Oh, I'm going to do the pattern paper, but for those of you that just got here, we did our pages. You're going to have scrap pieces from cutting your pages, and they'll look like this. They should be 5 inches wide. No, yeah, 5 inches wide. We're going to use these. You'll have 4 5 by 12, and you're going to use them for the flaps. And I didn't use a magnet on here because this is heavy enough. But I did, no, I didn't use any magnets. Sorry. You'll use all of these for the pockets and the flaps. So 7 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock is it for this little guy. We'll be making 2 of the pockets and 1 smaller one here. And we'll make this cute little booklet and these 2 little pockets. But let's go ahead and add the matting to the front and the spine. And then that's where we're going to leave off. And when we come back next week, we'll get it. We'll do all the rest. So I want to show you. I did the quilts. These guys here. So I cut the back. I decided to use the back. I thought the gold looked really cool. And the flower is the back side of the plaid. And I cut 2 by 2 squares. Just out of the scrap. And I just cut however many. I think I was able to cut 4. And then that was a piece of the milk can in the pictures I thought would be really cute. And our 12 by 12 squares, our 2 by 2 squares, we're just now going to put them in our cutter at an angle. And we did this with the G45 farm paper. And when you make these, you just want to make sure you can make 4 by 4 squares if you want bigger ones. They just need to be square. And for you quilters, you know how to make these, except for you take your squares and we iron them. Many of quilt edges I've made ironing these guys. Oh, this paper is so cute, Pamela. And how's my little beagle doing? I am going to ink the edges. I'm going to use a sepia. I only need 4. So I'm going to do 2 top, 2 bottom. And I'll save the others because you never know where I might want to use them. Oh, well, that's a pretty new ink pad, so I've got plenty on here. So those are my hands. I know. And oh, Pamela, oh, I got to tell you, I've seen so many sneak peeks from the paper companies. There's actually 2 more companies coming out with kitchen papers. So I'm really excited. Oh, her playpen is, oh, she's jumping out of her playpen. That's what Wilbur did, and we had to take his down. Okay, you can lay your book flat to work on it. That's what makes it really nice. My covers are 4 3/8 by 7 3/8, and you can double mat or do anything you like. And I cut 2 of them, 4 3/8 by 7 3/8. And my spine piece, I cut it 2 inches, the same as my spine, by 7 3/8. Isn't that cute? Really different look. Whoops. Than this one. Like I said, this one I'm hoping she'll use to document her chickens. And I will be using the ephemera and the frames and tags I did on the other album. I really liked all of them. So this was from the Frames and Tags. I used frames and tags, lots of ephemera. So you can get the ephemera matching with this. You're going to want it, trust me. So you can see now how quick and fun these are going to make. Great gifts. They still have those flips and flaps. But like I mentioned, a lot of times when you're wanting to make them for neighbors, or you need a really quick one that somebody says, I need this Monday, and it's Friday night, and you can get this made by then. Good alternative. Okay. Like I said, that is the exact same size as I cut the hinge piece. It's 2 inches. But trim it if you need. Oh, I know, the school box. It took a while. That was a big project. But it wasn't too bad. Okay, we have one last thing to do. And then you can get all caught up for next Friday. And we'll be doing all the inside. And it's going to be as fun and quick as this was. Love the colors. Love the colors. Don't forget, when you purchase your collection from Country Craft Creations, get the coordinating, because the coordinating papers are so pretty that go with this. And it really stretches your line. So I do use a couple of them. That was, I used the darker. For this one, I'll use the lighter. But that was this piece right here. That's from the coordinating papers. And that one, I love the light colors and the blueberry. See how well that goes? And it's going to go great with the chickens. You did a lot of pages in that book for sure, Pamela. So my quilt or my corners, so I put one on the outside edge. And then I'm putting one, so I'm going to start from the right to the left. Right there. Then I started here and did the opposite, or they can both be the same if you want the same overlap. Get that in there. And that's how I did mine. Hello, well, thank you. Okay, I do want that to match. And this, for those of you just popping in, this is the Farmhouse Kitchen by Echo Park. That's on the website at countrycraftcreations.com. And it's adorable, just adorable. So many uses for this. I might do the opposite here. Let's see. I did the opposite on the other one. I'm going to do the opposite. Oops. So as you can see, the chicken, I mean, the gold is the back of the chickens. I wish I had a tablecloth like this. I just love it. If they had this fabric and this fabric, I certainly would. And then I put the ruffle in gold along the edge. And it really ties into the milk cans. Tanya, so am I. I'm just getting excited to see you. It's very soon. When you think about it, we're only a month away from meeting up in Las Vegas. Okay. There is your cover. Now you'll be able to go back and watch the recording and get caught up. And next week we will continue and finish our book. And there's the 2 different looks. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next Friday. And I'll post a cutting guide. No, the flaps and everything are in the cutting guide. So and the pockets. So I won't have to post those again, but just have your paper ready and we'll do our matting next Friday. See you then. Bye-bye.